We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Amy Koczynski, and I am the Marketing Communications Coordinator here at GroupLink, and I will be your moderator for today. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that we are on Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn, so feel free to connect with us and stay up to date on everything that's happening here at GroupLink, including webinars and occasionally promotions and things like that. Speaking of promotions, we are actually running a promotion right now. If you purchase by the end of February, for each full technician license that is purchased, you'll receive an iPad mini. Now that is for our on-premise solution. If you'd like our hosted solution, feel free to give us a call and we can help you out with pricing on that. One last reminder before we get started, if you are planning to attend BrainShare, if you haven't registered yet, you can use our code BS13GroupLink, and that'll give you a discount when you register for BrainShare. Now, if you are going to be attending, we will be hosting a dinner, and you are invited to attend. That will be on Monday night, February 4th. Just visit that link there, grouplink.com/landing/brainsharedinner.html. And there you can register for the dinner. And then I just included the link there if you'd like to learn more about BrainShare itself. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to hear from Gus Heitinen today, and he will be talking about solving your New Year's resolutions, such as opening the lines of communication between the end users and the IT department, improving technician productivity and reducing response time, streamlining and tracking issues and requests, and monitoring technician workloads through detailed reporting. We will have some time for Q&A at the end, so if you have any questions, feel free to put those through on the chat or the Q&A. Okay, Gus, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. Perfect. Let me do this. Let me share my screen here. And Amy, if you'll confirm that you can see.
Yes, I can see your login screen.
Perfect. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone's time today. Once again, my name is Gus. I've been here with GroupLink for quite a few years. You may have jumped on a webinar and heard this voice before. But we do appreciate your time. I'm going to actually take you through maybe a few different scenarios here within the help desk. Really, I'm just going to scratch on the surface, do an overview. Obviously, if you have some detailed things that you would like to see, we can definitely schedule a one-on-one webinar with you. Take 20, 30 minutes, maybe even longer if you would desire, to dig in a little bit deeper and talk specifically about your organization. And so just know that that is available. This is more of a public setting, and so I just want to hit some main points here. There's three different areas that I'll touch on. I'll start with the end user experience. Amy mentioned, streamlining your communication with your end users. And so I want to kind of talk a little bit about that, and then maybe jump in as a technician. How, as a technician, we can utilize the help desk in an easy way. Maybe streamlining some of my, work that I'm doing, documentation that I'm doing here within the help desk as well, and then obviously jumping into reporting, where we can get those metrics, show different areas that maybe you're helping in, workload by technician, statuses, priorities, different things like that. And so those are kind of the areas that I'll touch on. Once again, if you do have questions, Amy will be monitoring the Q&A, and we'll get to those at the end. And so be sure to throw your question in there. This is a web-based application. It's web-based for your users, for your techs, for your managers. We are doing a iPad mini promo right now, and which is a cool toy, but in the end, it also complements our software in that the help desk is mobile compatible. That's Droids, Blackberries, iPhones, iPads, minis or regular, different tablets. You do have the ability to, as a technician especially, create tickets, update tickets, close tickets right there from a mobile device. It does pull up in mobile interface, as well as, in a way, streamlining your day a little bit. Our theory there is you're on the go, so why wouldn't your help desk be on the go as well? And so that's why we love giving away the iPads. Now, I'm going to start off as an end user. There's kind of a few different avenues for getting help or getting things into the system, whether it's a web form, which I'll show you, a phone call, an email. We do have some different avenues for streamlining the communication from the user and the IT department, or maybe even some of your other departments. But I want to show the web form. It's not something you have to use. We've just have had great success with it with our customers because of the ease of use on that side. Being web-based, it's very easy to make this accessible to the user, whether it's a link on a website, a bookmark, a shortcut. You have some different options there. You'll notice here login ID and password. We do ask them to authenticate, but we're actually going to be using your directory for this. You're not having to recreate login ID and passwords for all of your users. Whether you're using Active Directory, eDirectory, or even an open LDAP directory, we're actually going to authenticate using that directory. If you update your Active Directory, let's say, it would also update here to the help desk for login there. Now, I'm going to go in as a user, and let's pretend that I need some help. Now, I've logged in as Nikki Patterson. The first thing you'll notice is that I have a list of tickets here. These are tickets that Nikki has submitted to the help desk. It's a great place to come for status updates, maybe to view the public notes of the ticket. I don't have to call anybody, within IT. I don't have to email anybody, track anybody down. I actually have a place where I can come to view this information. You can even update the ticket as more of a note. You can make certain fields, you can put rights to certain fields where they can't update them, but they could put in a note, hey, I rebooted my computer. Seems to be working a little bit better. And so they could definitely update it from there as well. It's kind of like package tracking, right? A place where they can go to look up and see what's going on with their package in a way. Now, for this instance, I'm actually going to create a new ticket. My goal here is not to show you how to create a ticket, but really to show you how easy it is to do, whether as an end user, a technician, or even anyone else that you would have submitting tickets. And so the first thing that I do is I come here to group. Now, obviously, we're talking information technology for the most part today, but just note that we do have some other departments that use our system. You'll notice I have a long list here within my demo database. Most common probably would maintenance facilities, transportation, even some human resources. Really, any department that wants to utilize this type of a system can use our system, more of a centralized help desk. But really the key is that there's rights and securities separating all of these departments, meaning you in IT, you won't see maintenance tickets. They won't see your tickets. You won't report on each other's tickets unless given rights to do so. All the form, the ticket itself, all the customization is separated by group as well. The idea is that the user can go to one form, whether for a question about their computer, maybe their heating and air conditioning, or maybe their benefits from human resources. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and choose IT. Now, if you're only using this in IT, it will autofill as well and bypass that step for you. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that my contact info is pre-populated. What we're doing is we're actually pulling this information from Active Directory or eDirectory, Open LDAP directory as well into the ticket. Like I said, our goal is to make this easy for the user. And so when I come in here, my information is pre-populated. If you have additional fields within the directory that you want to show here, you can. You're not limited to what you see. We have a drop down here for location. These are customized where you can come in and put in your own locations. We can even tie a user to a location so that when they log in, it pre-populates that field for them. Now, we do ask them to fill out a few simple drop downs. Once again, all drop downs are configured by you. It's a very easy tool. It would take you literally a couple of seconds to come in here and build this list. The idea is you want to be able to call things what you want, and so we wanted to make sure that that was available. With category option, it's nice to get a good idea of maybe where the problem is coming from. There's even some intelligence here. For instance, if I choose hardware and I come in here to category option, I'm now looking at specific types of hardware that I have defined. If I were to choose software, you probably get the idea. I would then see different types of software issues, and so there is that type of intelligence here within the form. Now, there is some additional things we can do. For instance, if I choose printer, you'll notice that a bunch of additional fields populated. These are examples of custom fields. A lot of times beyond category and category option, you have 2 or 3 questions you like to ask the user. Sometimes it's just even basic troubleshooting. Well, we wanted to give you the ability to do that. And you can be specific to the category option where you can gather that information. You can make it text fields, drop downs, check boxes, radio buttons. You can even do a date field if you wanted. You can make them required or not required. You'll notice if I come in here and I choose, I think it's computer, I have a different set of questions that are populated with some global questions as well, really regardless of the type of problem. It's standard. You won't have any custom fields. You would have to go in, and there's a really easy tool within the managerial side where you can add some fields if you wanted. Those fields you also have the ability to run reports on and filter as if they were a standard field. Now, I skipped over one here, assignment. We do have the ability to route assignments. I show it here in the end user form so that I can talk about it. You can remove it from their view if you'd like. You can route assignments to individuals or teams. We call them ticket pools. You can base that off of location, category, or even category option. Sometimes you route by location, right? Anything first level support goes to this individual at this location to look at and then pass on if needed. Or maybe it's by skill set. If this type of issue comes in, hardware goes to Gus, software goes to Amy. You can kind of bypass a dispatching pool if you wanted to set up those rules within the help desk itself. You as a manager, you can always see these tickets even though they're auto-assigning. You do have a managerial view that shows you all tickets, and so don't think that you're not going to know about something that's coming in. Okay, you'll notice here that priority and status are static fields, that they're grayed out and they can't change them. You can also remove them from their view if you wanted. You can predefine what you want these to be when they come in. You can even say hardware issues are low, but network issues are medium or high. I mean, you can predefine some of that here as well. Subject, note, the user can attach a file. When I save this, 2 things happen. An email goes back to me as the user as a confirmation with the ticket number, and we send a notification automatically to the tech or the group of techs that this is assigned to, letting them know they have a new ticket in the queue. Within their email is actually a link to this ticket where they could review it right from there. You can turn emails off. You can say, yes, we want the end user to get an email, but the technician, they're in their queue most of the day anyway, and so we're just going to turn theirs off. All right, I'm a little long-winded, but like I said, I hope you can see how easy it would be for the user to come in here and give us a little bit of information, and then it gets into the system. And at the end of the day, the technician is not having to take time to fill this out, via phone calls and emails if they don't want to. We can provide an additional avenue to where the technician can really just receive it and then begin to work on it. All right, I'm going to jump out here. I'm actually going to go ahead and log in here as more of a tech-manager. A technician and a manager see similar things. A manager has additional rights that they can see. Let me go ahead. I'm going to make a quick change. I'll explain what I'm doing here when we get into reporting. Now, if I come in here as a technician, I do have the ability to fill out a ticket for someone that has called me on the phone. Where I can come in and I can fill this out. This will actually search the directory for me. Let's say I have Nikki on the phone. I choose Nikki's name. It auto-populates all the information for Nikki. I would then come out and fill this out very much the same way. And so, like I said, very easy to fill out, via a phone call. We actually have, as a third avenue for getting tickets into the system, we have a feature called Email to Ticket. Most of you might even know what this is, but what we can do is we can actually automate your emails and make them tickets automatically for you, put them into a specified queue, like a ticket pool where you can look at and then decide, who you want to assign out to. And so there are different avenues for getting tickets into the system, not just phone, email, or web form. All right. I'm actually going to open up an existing one here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing. When I come in as a technician, this will probably be what I see. I can see my assignments. Now, I could sort by any of these columns. I want to see oldest tickets first. I want to see this by priority, maybe by location, right? I'm headed out to a location to see what else I have out there. Now, this tab here is a ticket pool. Maybe I'm a part of a team queue, and I have access to view the ticket pool where we can come in here, either dispatch from or even have technicians pull from. This tab, Tech Services, is actually a managerial tab, a view of everything that's going on within the department. Like I said, because even though we're auto routing, we don't lose those tickets from our view. We can still see them, as a managerial staff. Now, if I come back here, just some basics about the ticket. We track created dates, modified dates, closed dates, obviously. We also track a hands-on time. So we're tracking time in two ways. The idea here is created to close or modified, it tells us the gaps. Yeah, the ticket was open for 2 weeks, but this here kind of shows us a hands-on time. It was open for 2 weeks, but we waited a week and a half for a part to come in. And so I could actually add time manually, or I can even have it count for me. Just kind of up to you. Sometimes departments need to bill out specific hours, and so we wanted to make sure that that was available there where you could input actual time. PDF, if I wanted to print this off in PDF format, I could. We've talked a lot about some of this information here already as far as categories, category options, how customizable it is. Anytime we make changes or updates to this ticket, we actually will document it here in the history. We're going to tell you the day, the time, and then who made that update. And so we keep a little bit of an audit trail there for you as well. Now, if I want to make an update, I could simply just update a field, and it would allow me to update this with notes. Or I could just, maybe I just want to add some notes. Part is on order, will be in on Friday. You probably get the idea. You can be a lot more detailed here, obviously, if you want. You can even attach files. Really what I want to talk about here is the notify. This is streamlining your communication. When I save this, this will send an email back to the end user automatically with this information. I don't have to call them. I don't have to hunt them down and tell them the update. We're actually going to do it automatically from the ticket. Now, another thing we do is that we embed the ticket number in the subject line, ticket number 78. And so if the user hits reply to this email, their reply will actually come back, look up ticket 78, stamp in the history, and it will send it via email to the technician. The technician hits reply to the email, same thing, comes back, stamps in the ticket, then sends it on to the user. And so we're capturing that communication and streamlining it as the emails go back and forth between tech and end user. All right. Now you'll probably notice here, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but you probably notice here sub-tickets. The system does have the ability to do what we call parent-child ticketing, where you can have like a main ticket or a parent ticket, and then you could have child tickets or sub-tickets. A lot of times this is nice in that it's going to take maybe 2 or 3, 4 different people to do different things on this particular issue or even project, and you'd be able to come in here and create those separate assignments. I believe you're also able to create your own view here as far as columns. I only have ticket number and subject, but you could probably add, assignment, due date, status, things like that to this view as well. It's just nice that if you're kind of managing a project, you're not out there looking for 3 or 4 different tickets within a queue wondering which ones pertain to your project. We can actually go ahead and sync them here into the project ticket as sub-tickets. All right, I'm going to jump away from this and I'm going to talk about 2 other things, and then I'll let you get back to your day. I know most of you are pretty busy. I want to talk about templates, and then I'll wrap it up here with reporting. Ticket templates are I think, one of our best features here within the help desk, really to streamline not only communication with users, but also your day-to-day activity there within the help desk. Free up time to actually help people instead of maybe spending time documenting things. A template is a pre-populated ticket, and there's 3 different ways that we can utilize templates within our system. The first one is what we call a quick ticket. I won't really get into that because we've talked a little bit about creating tickets. I'll just kind of mention this. What you can do is you can predefine 10, 15 types of everyday questions that are called in so that they're pre-populated. If someone calls in about a printer and this type of issue, here's the pre-populated template. I don't have to build those from scratch. A lot of times it takes you longer to fill out a ticket than to solve the problem. And we don't want that to have to be an issue for you. We want you to document everything you do because there's a lot of value in that. And so we wanted to create what we call these quick tickets, where you can just maybe go out there and ping a pre-populated ticket for that type of call that comes in. Now the other two deal a little bit more with stuff outside of HelpDesk. And what I mean by that is we realize you don't just help people all day. There's a lot of things you do behind the scenes that really no one knows about. Projects, you know, updates, tasks, upgrades. I mean, there's just a lot of things going on. And so we wanted to find an efficient way where you could track those. For instance, here my example is a database backup. This is an example of a reoccurring ticket. Some departments will even call this maybe a preventative maintenance ticket. What you can do is you can predefine this ticket or this task, and then you could put it on a reoccurrence pattern. In this instance, let's say on the first day of every month, I want this created and sent to the appropriate person or team to take care of. Maybe it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Obviously, as you can see here, any time frame that you would like, you have the ability to do. Number one, great reminder, and number two, you're documenting it. You know, dear Mr. Manager, here's how much time we spend helping people. Here's how much time we spend maintaining, upgrading technology within the organization as well. And so, like I said, we wanted to streamline some of that. Now, if I come back here to templates, we do have one other type of template. We call it a workflow template. You'll notice here child tickets. I just discussed a little bit about child tickets. And so let me go into edit mode. What you can do is you can determine when you would like those different child tickets or sub-tickets to be assigned out. They don't have to all be assigned out at the same time. A lot of times your projects entail steps, or you know, this needs to happen before this can happen. And so what we do is we come in and we predefine our project. You know, in this instance, a new hire. We need maintenance to put in a desk. We need to put in a computer. There we go. We need to put in a computer. And so you can create all these different tickets or assignments for this project. And when I come here, I can actually determine the steps that I want. Step one, we're going to have HR launch the parent ticket with the new hire information. Well, step two, we're going to send out a ticket to put in a desk, and then we're going to add them to the directory. Once those have been completed, then we're going to send out the next series of tickets. I think you probably get the idea here. The idea is how many times have you shown up with a computer and there's no desk, right? Or you've shown up to give them their passwords and there's no computer. And so it really increases your communication as well as collaboration in your department or even with other departments in you know, being more efficient with some of your projects. And you can have more than 4 or 5 steps. You can put these in any order that you want. You can launch them all at the same time as you want. It just allows you to really streamline some of your processes there. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here with reports. I'm not going to get too in depth with data reports. I'll just mention this. Any field that we have in the help desk, you have the ability to filter on or show within a report. For instance, did you spill Coke on your keyboard again? This is a custom field. And I could come in here and I could actually, you know, filter this if I want. If I come in here, I could do a standard field. Maybe I only want to see locations. Okay, so I add this. I only want to see this location. Or maybe I just to show multiple selections, these 2 locations. Like I said, any field you want, you have the ability to come in here and filter and run a data report. Now, timelines. Today, this week, this month, a range, before and afters, last 2 hours, 3 days, 4 weeks, a ton of different options when it comes to the type of timelines that you would like to run, you know, some of your reports. My column order for my data report is over here, and I can drag and drop these into any order that I want. I want to see status a little bit higher. I want to see it assigned to first. Very customizable when it comes to your filters and your data reports. And then obviously I can name this and I could save it. Now there's 2 things I can do with the save filter. Number one, I can make it a graph, which I'll show you here. The other thing I can do, which is pretty cool, is that I can make this a tab on my home screen. Let's say, for instance, I create a filter that shows me everything I've assigned out but that has not been updated in, let's say, 3 days. And so I build that filter, I choose it, I save it, and then when I come back here to my ticket screen, it's now been added as a tab with the criteria that I've set. Now remember, you're going to be able to put the columns or the fields you want. You can put them in the order that you want to see them, including custom fields, and then you can filter it how you want. And so there's just a lot of value, a lot of power there as far as manipulating your metrics and showing things in different ways. Now, to conclude, I'll go ahead and I'm going to show you some of our graphs. I've already created one here called Open by Location. I'm going to go into here. Let's run this first, and then I'll go into edit mode. And so what I've done is I have a graph here, open by location. Really what I've done is I want to see my open tickets, but the graphs allow us to break data down or group the data. And so I'm grouping it by location. So I see my different locations that have open tickets. I see a total time spent. Looks like we're spending a lot of time as well as the number of tickets at a specific location, and I actually have the ability to drill down. Now I've drilled down into status. I want to see what types of open statuses these are in. I have 10 that have been assigned out and not updated. If I drill down again, we'll let this thing catch up. I'm in PDF format. You can do some other formats like HTML, CSV, Excel. You have some different options. All right. Looks like I'm trying to do a little too much. I'll go into edit mode and I'll come back. I'll show you how far we can drill down. Okay, and so you'll notice here that I have open by location. Now I chose location. You have other options: category, technician, priority, statuses. You can break this data down in a lot of different ways. A common report might be like closed. I want to see this closed by technician. How much time did these technicians spend this week or this month? Maybe I want to see closed by priorities. How many of these, were at a high priority? And then when you drill down the second time, you'll remember I chose status, but you have other options here as well. Maybe a trending. I want to see this by category and category option. What types of issues are we seeing here within the help desk? Not, once again, PDF, HTML, Excel, CSV, graphs. You can do pie charts or bar charts. Now I can even run this on a schedule. I can automate this. Instead of having to come in and run this, I can have it emailed to me in specific times, or even email to other individual. Hey, here's our monthly report, and you can go out there and you could automate that. Now let me come back here. Let's try this one more time. Okay, there we go. So what I've done is I've drilled down into the actual tickets itself. I can even open this ticket from the report. I don't have to go back into the help desk and look it up. I can see it right from here. Now, like I said, I'm just kind of touching on the surface, scratching the surface there of the reports that we offer there within the help desk. A lot of power there. You'll even see a dashboard. Let me close this up here. You can see that we do have dashboards where you could take up to 4 saved reports and you can put them into a dashboard view if you wanted. What's nice there is, some of your everyday critical reporting that you want to see, volume by tech, by location, aging reports, right? I want to see all our tickets that are older than 7 days. You can just open up that dashboard and you can glance at it throughout the day. It updates every, I think, 10 to 15 seconds, and so it's very close to real time. So you can get some actual trending and things like that you might be seeing. There's some other features that I really haven't gotten into. Like I said, if you wanted to go more in depth, we'd be happy to do a one-on-one webinar with you here the next few weeks. Assets is one. We do have an asset tracking tool where we can go ahead and bring your assets into the help desk. Number one, you can look at information on that asset, locations, types, owners, serial numbers, VIN numbers. You can even do like purchasing information, lease information, warranty dates. It's all, you're able to filter on all of that. Show me all PCs that the warranty's up in the next 3 months. You could search that type of information. We can also tie problems to the asset where, you guys can then go in and run reports. Show me my top 10, my top 20 problem assets. You can even drill down into a specific asset, kind of like a Carfax history report. Show me the 10 issues that I've had with this asset here in the last year. You might even be able to see a trend. Some of the managerial functions we have, like the scheduler for service level agreements, auto escalation, auto notifications. If a ticket gets older than 3 days and it still hasn't been updated, let's escalate it to medium. Let's notify the tech, blind copy the manager on it, just so that you're aware, maybe of some of the tickets that have fallen through the cracks that are still sitting out there. All right. As I mentioned, any other questions that you have, Amy, I'm going to turn the time back over to you for Q&A. I've kind of gone through an overview here of the help desk. And so if you have questions, feel free to enter those, and we'll do our best to answer them for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Gus. And again, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to put those through on the chat or the Q&A. At this time, I don't see any, but I'll give you just a couple minutes to see if anyone has any questions.
Great. Thanks, Amy.
Okay, I don't see anything coming through right now, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. And if you do have additional questions, feel free to contact us at any time. Just one last reminder, we are on Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. So if you'd like, you can connect with us on any of those sites. And thank you all for joining us today, and thanks to Gus for a great presentation. And I put our contact information on there, so if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or send an email. Thanks again.